Well, you know, I'm better at expressing myself and my goals through song.
Follow the talking points we went over. And do not sing.
Okay.
Grammarly ensures your...
Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode of Radio Hazbin. I am your host Insaiyans for today. Alright, we have a couple of topics that we need to go over, and of course this one is probably going to be the most serious one of all. So let's get on with the topics. Yes, we do have, of course, we have Monstrous and Hellboy from the Honeycast server, along with the Hazbin Hotel fan chord. So we do have these lovely little bastards with us. But today, obviously, we're going to talk about the Hazbin and Hell of a Boss updates. Though for we currently with Hell of a Boss, it's only one update we don't know about. Obviously, with Hazbin at this moment. So we will be congratulating Vivzie with her wisdom tooth removal. And of course, we then got the art fest going around by Gala Arts 200 on Instagram. Then, of course, we got this one will take the most massive chunk, being, of course, discourse in the Discords, along with Melters and Hellboy featuring. because we're obviously getting into their perspectives. I do have a special announcement. Obviously, Hellboy Monstrous, you're more than welcome to join me. And of course, then we're going to a serious topic about me transferring from Dragon Ball to Hazbin Hotel. So let me quickly pop over to Radio Show. And let me just differ myself from the actual guys. Alright then, you guys are now live.
Alright.
Alright,
Hey.
cool. Right. Let me just get everything ready. Because so far I've come unprepared because obviously my PC was only rebuilt about 2 hours ago.
Oh my lord.
And alright. So first of all we're going to look at this. So it seems like apparently obviously with Hello Boss, everything is now being storyboarded for the actual story for the next episode. So apparently obviously it's going to have a scene with a carnival. We don't exactly know where this will lie. Obviously Monstrous and Hellboy can't tell me because non-disclosure agreement. Which is fine. I
can tell you though, if I don't see fucking oh fuck, what's his name?
Word.
Never mind, come back to me. I'm tired, alright? Fuck off.
It's fine. Okay. So obviously in this
Wait, hold on! I remember! If I don't see Blitz dressed up as a fucking clown, I'm gonna beat somebody.
Wow. I don't know how you said that name.
Wow.
Wow.
Listen, I only woke up about an hour ago and I'm still fucking melatonin out. We talked about this.
Oof. That's fine, dude. That's fine. So obviously more like Octavia's going to be featured in the next episode, but we don't know who's going to be voicing her. So that's going to be the interesting part. Hopefully Vivzie should have heard my Octavia, because I don't think anyone else has done an interpretation of her yet.
As far as I'm aware, I think that was the only comic that featured her as well, and we were the first ones to dub and edit it.
Oh, indeed, most definitely. Keep it eloquent and more like my father. I don't know why you're so obsessed with that buffoon. And I do notice I have a DM, but I'm going to ignore that. Alright, okay, so now that's pretty much it for the Hazbin Hotel and the Hello Boss updates. That's pretty much all we know about at this moment in time. So
Hey, hold on, before we start, can I ruin fucking Stolas for everybody?
No.
Listen,
No,
you know
no,
the
you
video
cannot.
with, you know the video Wingardium Leviosa? He sounds exactly like Oni's
my
interpretation
God.
of Snape.
Stop.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I'm gonna
Lemma.
get the gun.
Fucking please! I want it to end!
Wingardium Leviosa.
Oh dear god.
Wingardium Leviosa!
Oh dear god.
Oh, dear
Oh,
fucking
God.
godfather, why do you have to be such a fucking embarrassment? Can't I just be normal?
No, we do not understand the meaning of the word.
Limo. Okay. So obviously that topic was quite jumping, and of course Vivzie recently just had her wisdom tooth removed, which is good on her. So she is more likely still recovering, of course, with lockdown at this moment in time for California. They've got until August.
Oof.
Well,
My quarantine's
actually,
over.
to be fair, actually the governor of the state of California is actually looking to speed up the process of reopening. So we don't know
Okay.
if actually we're going to be under quarantine until August.
Yeah.
We could be lifted sooner. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's fair. I know some places, like, there were some other places around that had, like, locked down until September and things like that, and oof.
Please don't say that. Listen, I got a concert I really want to go to in September and October.
Oh
don't
my
wanna
god,
mess up.
My Chemical Romance can wait!
No, it can't.
Yes, it can, you edgy bastard!
Leave me alone. Let me have
No!
Trust me, Monstrous. Me and Lucifer here, we're technically an engaged couple, and we've been trying to go to Comic-Con. London Comic-Con that's been cancelled twice.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be in May. Obviously, that got moved to July. Luckily, I had that date booked off anyway, but now it's been cancelled completely. So it's just like, oh, come on, man.
I feel
Been
How am I
getting my
supposed to get
cosplay
my
together
updates on
and
Doctor Who
everything.
now?
I've been building my Lucifer cosplay, man.
Yeah, and also the fact also the place where London Comic Con's currently going held is currently the hospital for COVID-19.
Yes, they basically
Oh.
turned the arena, the XL, into a makeshift hospital for COVID-19
Patients.
sufferers and victims. And basically, the arena is what we would have been going into. So, yeah, probably not a good idea anyway.
Take an extra bottle of disinfectant with you.
Nah,
Make sure you just
paint
throw
thinner.
fairy liquid everywhere.
I'll just
Nah.
have one of
Well,
those hats, you know, the ones that has the beer thing with the straw, and just have 2 bottles of bleach in it.
There you go. See, I like
Nah,
that.
paint thinner and drop match. There we go.
Oh my
Problem
God.
solved.
Bloody
Oh,
hell.
I didn't
Oh,
think we were lighting it on fire.
Oh, jeez.
That's the only way to fight the virus. You light it on fire.
Exactly.
It seems like the only way to fly as well. Oh my God.
Meanwhile, obviously with the UK, we are letting lockdown week by week. Because obviously now they're about to run human tests, obviously, to our NHS staff. Because obviously props to them here in the UK. Yeah, because obviously my parents are NHS staff. So they're going to be getting the tests rolling out for people that have already had the virus and maybe carrying it already.
You know anything about the key workers and all that are getting tested? Because I did hear about that, and obviously,
That's
you
with-
know, I'm
yeah,
one
they're
of the
on
key
it.
workers.
Yeah, they're rolling it out with NHS staff first for...
Yeah, of course. Well, they're higher risk.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Because I just want to get out of this town and come and see you, God damn it.
I know. Right, so now obviously we're moving on to the next subject. So now we're on to phobia. So apparently she's been heckled by this individual quite a few times. Okay, the Spanish, or was it the Portuguese YouTuber that obviously was trying to bash her
I think
up?
he's Portuguese. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I
I
think
believe it's Portuguese.
Portuguese, yeah. Obviously, we've heard...
They're a Portuguese dick, I can tell you that.
Oh, blimey.
That's fine. Lucky I'm an 18+ stream. Oh, I like mature topics. So
Well, it'd have to be if it has been anyway, so.
true, but then again, there's like children that slip under the cracks. Looking at you, Dio.
Yeah.
So as far as Phobia Circus goes, we've actually known Phobia Circus for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Phobia Circus has been in the fan court for maybe longer than I have.
They've been in there longer than I have, and I've been in there since like December of 2018.
Yeah, so we've known Phobia for a while, and unfortunately, I feel like every couple of months, Phobia has to deal with some sort of bullshit like this, where she's just constantly having her artwork traced, she's having it stolen, it's ending up on like Redbubble or wherever the hell. And I feel
Yeah, because right now, obviously you guys can't see from the actual image here. The image of obviously the person, I believe obviously this is an Instagram message, so more likely there's a BRB, Kobe Gia, so obviously you could tell that Gia can be known as Gala. If you have a look very closely, see if I can zoom in. I like how it zooms on the actual page, but not the actual tweet. Thank you!
That is
Boomer.
awkward.
Right, so now I have to right click, copy image address, and copy and paste it here. Oh, for the love of God. Right, you can ever so slightly see here, it says, at Gala Artist 200. Very, very easily. Or Gala Artist.
It's actually because of people like this. I don't generally tend to post my art very often. Because I know that it being stolen is one of those things I'm going to lose my mind over.
Yeah. I think Instagram seems to be the worst case for where it's happening. In my humblest opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I know, obviously, DeviantArt. That's where it mostly happens.
I know that.
Yeah. Carry on, monsters?
To say, I know as far as the staff go.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I think you keep cutting out.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ever so slightly.
Oh.
You're not
Nothing
too close to the beach, are you?
Getting back on that.
What? I have to be.
They
I
were
have to be on
roasting
push
you
to
about
talk
the fucking
because the wind.
beach.
That's fine.
Ah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I get you.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
But Hellboy and I have been the most vocally supportive of Phobia as far as the staff have gone because we've seen what this has done to her and she doesn't deserve it.
No,
I don't
she.
Plus,
understand
with
why
the whole
people think this-
tracing thing, it's just inspiration, you know? It's like not even her copying shit.
No.
Well, and she's not tracing either. This is all her.
No, this is freeform, so.
And they're
Yeah.
using like shitty examples to show, oh, it's being traced, but the example itself is different from the fucking artwork. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
support you, Phobia. That's the important part.
Yeah,
The fan court supports you.
Yeah.
We love you!
And of course, the radio has-beens love you. We do support your artwork. Yeah. To everyone, this is not the cast members. These are just admins of the fan cord. And of course,
fan
they are
cord.
admins and of the Honeycast. Oh,
Well, hold on.
Discord.
Let's clarify that. I'm the server owner for the fan cord. Hellboy is the co-owner.
Yes. And
You
then-
cut out again, but to finish what she was saying, I'm an admin over in the Honey Court, and she's just bot management.
I'm bot management.
Like, she doesn't do any fucking big decisions over there, and people give her flack for that all the time.
Oof. Just oof. So obviously,
But
yeah,
anyway.
the person is actually still in the art, and apparently has been suspected it's Gala again. So it seems like obviously what's been going on with, of course, Gala seems to be going around, lurking around all these artists' Instagrams. I think this is going to be my only option for all the artists if you do hear me out. Right? Get rid of everything off your Instagram, right? Leave it for a while, right? But post something that involves like you guys are making a collaborative effort on a project, right? So this is where the kick comes in. So like obviously make sure each one of you have the same date at the same time. This will be the most greatest prank that you'll ever do to Gala. And once apparently that time has come, right, you post the image and it's just a wall of text saying, "Fuck you, Gala Artist 200," over and over again as the actual art piece, and go, steal that then.
Just make a stick figure animation out of the line of text, "Fuck you, Gala."
Exactly. Either way,
Or
it
just-
works.
Or just I just cut out again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on voice activity one.
That's
You
fine.
should. You really, really should.
All right. There we go. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. I can't wait for you guys to hear the soothing sounds of California wind.
It's fine.
Oh, I killed myself.
That's right. On the last one, we had someone had a lawnmower going off in the background, so it's fine.
Oh, I
hot.
don't want that.
Wind is a bit more atmospheric and ambient.
Eric,
so-
yeah, that's true.
Aye.
That's the artsy fartsy way of saying wind doesn't bother me.
Yeah, exactly. I hate wind. I hate wind because I have quite long hair, so it blows everywhere. But yeah, going back.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, Phobia has been talking about it. I think this is Gala again, even though I've just confirmed it is. I'm considering contacting the authorities. All you have to do is just talk to a lawyer. That's it. And probably send like a DMCA or something like that. Because obviously, are they transforming the work? No. Are they critiquing it in an informal way? No. It doesn't stand in the four forms of fair use whatsoever. of someone who fights copyright claims nearly on a daily fucking basis.
People really be out here stealing people's artwork.
Yeah. That's why you don't see me post my art. All that often. But
See, I'm lucky because I'm a musician. When I post anything out, it's already got copyright on it. So I have an ID team that goes around and just like, you know, tags different YouTube channels and stuff like that.
yeah, so pretty much everyone's just saying like, take this person to court, report on Redbubble for the infringement, because they are technically infringing on the work, and of course with the file creation date. But yeah, it's awful what's happening with phobia, really. Like I still
Yeah,
feel
we
People
feel-
just need to stop being dickheads.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably prefer the idea of obviously putting a stick man with a middle finger going "fuck you, Gala" on all of their pages just to prove a point.
Hi, this is Bob. He wants to tell Gala a message. Copy paste him on every Instagram account you follow.
Yeah. Brilliant. So yeah, obviously, like, yeah, Gala keeps making numerous accounts, multiple accounts. Suppose she hasn't been IP
Isn't
about
he
it.
on like his 5th alt?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 5th,
We're
6th.
getting it there.
Yeah. But this person definitely needs to stop. But, yeah. Autistic Wolf has also been hit also. I think a few people have been hit by this individual. But, yeah. Pretty shitty.
I'm starting to think they're just jealous, man.
It is just jealousy. Obviously, like in the last one we had before, somebody was stealing art and animation storyboards, trying to get into Vivzi's crew. Obviously got found out straight away. You obviously know about that.
Oh yeah, we were involved in that. We
Yeah,
got
we're
that
involved
taken care
in
of.
that.
But the thing that makes me laugh is what would have happened if he had been accepted. The first storyboard, Stickman holding a bloody cane. All right, you're fired. Do you know what I mean? It's like fuck you, but you obviously can't draw. So you know, what would be the point of even doing that?
Fuck if I know.
Alright.
Yeah, so there's
That
an...
whole thing was a mess.
Yeah. So apparently, Gala Artist is from the UK?
Really?
Apparently,
Yeah,
that's what it
that's-
says here.
Then this isn't the person we were dealing with a couple months ago then. This is a different person.
Yeah, the other person we were dealing with was fucking Spanish.
Yeah, they're
Unless-
Spanish or Portuguese.
Unless they're just, you know,
Yeah,
faking their location.
that Luis Caranando, if I can recall. I'm probably butchering the surname. But I know you mean Mixed Master Media. Yeah, because I talked about him last week. I'm talking about numerous subjects, even though it's like out of date.
Professional, I love that. Professional digital and traditional artists from the UK. that cracks me up.
Yeah. Don't think there's any more here that I can see. But yeah, I think that's roughly about it about the whole Gala artist thing. So let me just quickly pop back to my topics, see what is next. Right, okay, so now, yeah, 'cause, well, bloody hell, we're flying through this shit, Jesus. Okay, alright, so now we're on to the bigger item at hand, and of course is this document right here. This dropped about a few days ago. I can't remember the exact date or day. Boomerang.
Oh boy, we're getting into the fun shit now.
Yeah, so now we're into the other one. So now obviously now we're doing the discourse in the Discord. So obviously there's a Discord war going between the two Hazbin Hotel fan calls.
Well, let's
Right.
hold up there. Let's clear the
Yeah.
air on that. There is no war. Like the fan, like we, mine and Hellboy's hot takes they are not officially, like, they are not fan court sanctioned. We do not drag the fan court into anything that we do. If we are gonna drag somebody, that is mine and Hellboy's choice and not the fan court. The staff aren't even usually involved 99% of the time.
Okay.
And I think the only time they have been involved was the Sly Fox. case, and that was it. And that was just because there were people who happened to be on staff who happened to be friends with Sly Fox. So this is not fan court sanctioned. We do not shit talk in the fan court. The fan court has an incredibly strict policy on server shit talking. If we're going to go after people, it's going to be on our own social media accounts, and that's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, understandable. So obviously, so more likely a Discord debacle. Would that be more of an appropriate term?
It's more it's more of a debacle than anything. This isn't a war.
Yeah.
We're not here to fight anything. Although I keep hearing Aristo's gonna message me, and I still haven't received anything from him. So.
I keep hearing the same thing, but he's blocked the fucking both of us. So like I don't.
So I'm guessing all talk and no bite.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
bark,
sorta.
no bite.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm in a Discord that really wants him in there because they want to know what he's about.
Interesting.
So.
Interesting. Apparently, according to this document, obviously we're going into it, that he has an alt in your server.
Yes, which
If
is kind of funny.
he does, we don't know what it is.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, and that's okay because as far as we are concerned, Discord has recently come out in the open against alts that are being used to evade bans, and in this case, that is what that is. So when we find it, not if, but when we find it, we'll be sure to report Aristo's original account and his alt account to Discord Terms of Service, and then I'm going to let them handle it from there. So,
Cool.
as far as I'm concerned, he can keep that alt in my Discord because he's the one who gets fucked.
I mean, they're fucked either way, so.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
suppose
fuck
that's
either way.
fair.
Either way.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's fine. That's
Like,
fine.
we as a staff understand that there are going to be people who are going to be really upset as spaghetti that they have been banned, and that's a-okay by us. You're allowed to be upset when you're not allowed to engage in a community because you decided to make poor choices in the comments that you wanted to make. And if that's what you so choose, I'm not going to stop you. So we're realistic in our expectations. We know people are going to try and circumvent it, so we just ban the account and we let Discord know.
Actually, just bear with me for a second. Crossy, when this finishes, you can put the timestamps on. I'm giving you that duty. There we go. I'll give you a roll. But when this finishes, when it finishes processing, thank you. So obviously, let's get into this document. So obviously we got the context, obviously the preface, the ladies' night incident, the further instances of inappropriate behavior, audio tampering.
Also, let's pause this really quick. I would like everybody who's listening and everyone in this call to know that Hellboy and I are not the people who put this doc together. Hellboy and I will own up to our own nonsense. We have always owned up to people that we've gone after in the ways in which we've gone after them. This doc is not our doing. I did not write this doc. The only access I had to it was to look at it. And I gave a couple screenshots at the request of the group who put the doc together, Fall of Lucifer. Hellboy and myself. In fact, we have a third party user who is not involved in any way who can confirm that this is in fact true, but they're not online right now. But Hellboy and I didn't write the doc. We don't own the doc. The only thing we did is we were asked to distribute the doc or to retweet the doc. So that's what we've done.
Understandable.
Yeah, the most we've done is signal boosting, and that's it.
Yeah.
Understandable. But of course, since apparently he has targeted you two in particular, I also want to try and get your side, so.
Well, that's just because Monstrous Man bad and Hellboy bad. Like, that's all there is to it.
Heck man bad.
I'm sorry, heck man bad. Heck man bad, Monstrous Man bad. Shout out to Leo Convoy, by the way, for that hashtag, because I stole that from him.
Lemma.
Man, I can't believe it. You ban people for no reason and you're a thief? Arresto has such a reason to be pissed at you?
Okay, I want to address that because that seems to be a hilarious rumor that has run pretty rampant in the community. So there's this rumor that Monstrous Man decided to ban somebody because they were Vietnamese. I would like to point out that in the area of California that I live, there is an incredibly high Vietnamese population. A lot of the people I work with are super cool Vietnamese people, Korean, Chinese, awesome people, never had an issue. The user in question went by the name Captain Communist, and God, I hope he sees this, because I'd like to call him out personally for lying. He was banned because he was espousing free Hong Kong. and all kinds of communist memes. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, if you want to go into a server and you want to meme on them.
Yeah.
But when this person was quarantined, which is our equivalent of like they have no access to the rest of the server, he was memeing in there too, so we banned him. So this rumor that, oh, monsters and help, I banned somebody because they were Vietnamese, totally untrue. We had zero clue what ethnicity this guy was. We didn't really care. He just came and started memeing, so we banned him.
Understandable.
And you know, it's even funnier, and I will own up to banning the dude, not for the reasons he says, but it's the funny thing. People will always go to Monstrous and say, you're bad, but 90% of the time it's me that's banned them, because this was pre-Monstrous, or she asked me to do it because she wasn't available. I was the one that fucking banned him, yet he's blaming everybody but me.
So, we're going to clear that rumor up really quick. It is one of the most hilarious rumors I've ever heard, especially because, like I said, area I live in, very high concentration of Vietnamese individuals. I've never hit somebody for being Vietnamese. You know, I was gonna make a joke and say some of my best friends were Vietnamese, but that's actually true. Some of my best friends growing up were
Yeah.
Vietnamese.
Where
But we
I
had no
live,
clue this guy.
yeah,
Huh?
where I live, we have Gurkhas here, because obviously the Brits used to be teamed up with other Gurkhas, like during obviously World War II.
Yeah.
So yeah, so obviously
Yeah.
we've got a bunch of Asian people around here. So yeah, we're aware. So obviously on to the document, Aristo's defense of Sly Fox. So obviously we are going back to him because we talked about him last
We always
week.
go back to Sly Fox.
Yeah.
So let's address the Sly Fox thing. So back in June of 2019, I was pulled into a conversation. Actually, it's July of 2019. I was pulled into a conversation surrounding Sly Fox. And in the state of California, which is both where I and Sly Fox live, we have something called mandated reporting, which states that all educators or all individuals who work with children must report the suspicion of abuse. They don't have to have proof. They're not required to have proof. All they need is the suspicion of child abuse. So I worked with somebody who helped me, or I helped them compile the doc. They sent it forth, and since I have had to deal with Sly Fox, what a lot of people don't seem to understand is that I don't give a shit whether you believe me or not, but there is credible proof that that this is something that Sly Fox has been doing. Otherwise, the police would not have gotten involved, and they are currently involved in his investigation. And we do occasionally get updates on that.
Okay.
And that if there was no credible proof and there was no reasonable suspicion, then the police wouldn't have been involved.
Yeah.
So it's not that these threats have no weight. It's not that these threats have no merit. It's that this has been going on for so long. Sly Fox was reported before us. Sly Fox was reported to the FBI. He was reported several times to his local police department. And it was only because 2 children came forward and said something that the police finally got involved.
Yeah.
So there's that clarity. I'd also like to point out one thing really, really quick, just really quick for shits and giggles.
That's fine.
If you harbor a predator in your server, and I find out that you're harboring a predator in your server, I'm gonna be real unhappy. You can do whatever you want in your server, but if I find out that you're harboring a predator, I'm gonna be real upsetty spaghetti.
Okay, that's fine.
Because-
Alright. Okay, so we've got Engineer 256 want to add something more to the Sly Fox situation about Discord predators in general. I'll bring him in.
Yeah, sure.
Engineer, you are
Cool,
on
bro.
the call.
What's up, engineer?
Howdy.
What's up?
You guys hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can
Yep,
hear you.
loud and clear.
Okay, good. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay between you guys and the stream, obviously. So, where are you guys in the conversation? Because I don't want to say something that's already been said.
So I just stated that if I find out that other server owners are harboring a predator such as Sly Fox, that I'm not going to be happy. I do have a history of reporting these servers to Discord Terms of Service for allowing a known child groomer into their server and harboring them. So that's what I said.
Okay. So, personal experience, because I'm also a moderator on Blue Raven's Discord. They were on here last week. We've had to get so, and I guess the best word for it is anal retentive about where people come from, who's recommending them to join the server and stuff.
Yep.
We've made specific rules that we have to know who added you.
Yeah.
That way we can avoid these problems, because past couple of weeks we've had people join the server and support the whole Sly Fox thing and trying to stop them from, doing the whole thing. And we're just memeing. It doesn't matter. You're still promoting a predator, and it's extremely frustrating because, like you were saying a bit earlier in the stream, people are using alts. And so we'll have one guy or like 3 guys use 20 different alts between all of them. And then even then, they're still constantly pumping out more, and we can report them to Discord all we want, but it's not enough almost.
Yeah, it's not, and that's exactly why Hellboy and I are so incredibly vocal about this sort of thing. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you're going around and you're making sexual remarks towards children, whether it's a joke or not, because it's not a joke as far as I'm concerned. I work with kids for a living, and I work with some of the most vulnerable populations there are, and you don't get to fuck around with kids. It's not a joke. It's not funny. I will report you if I find out who you are, and I'll go through great lengths to find out who you are, because this is ridiculous. You shouldn't be engaging in that sort of behavior. It's not funny. I don't think it's funny, and if I catch you in my fan court doing it, I'm gonna yeet you, and I'm gonna email Discord about you, and I'm not gonna feel bad. I will never feel bad about banning somebody. Like that.
I think that's the approach that everybody should have when it comes to these Discord predators, or predators in general. Let's broaden the topic here.
No bullshit.
It's different when you have somebody who's knows that they have a problem and they're doing steps to address it properly. But it's a completely different story when you have people that know that they have a problem and don't intend on doing anything about it and abusing the system. Because I feel like the system is far too forgiving as it is right now.
Yes, and let's understand this. I don't care if you're no contact, or if you are anti-contact, or whatever the hell you want to name yourself. If you are proud of the fact that you are attracted to children, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you out, and I'm gonna keep calling you out. You don't get to breathe because you're proud that you're accepting yourself. No, don't accept yourself. Get some fucking help, you need it.
This isn't coming out the closet. Hey, I'm gay.
It's the pride.
It pisses me off the most. It pisses me off the most when they try to associate themselves with the LGBT movement. Like, fuck you, bro. No. Stop
we talked about that last week, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was like something I said, basically. It's not like, for example, LGBTQ business, because with those, decisions and things like that, you're not harming anyone. If you're admitting that you're attracted to children, then that's a potential harm. If you're admitting that you're a murderer, you're a potential threat. So it's not right.
Correct. And that's why the fan court goes through great lengths to try and separate the children and our adults so that we don't have issues like this. Obviously, we still have issues. We've had people slip under the cracks. We've had people, try and date or attempt to date minors, quote unquote, when there's, like a 7 age gap between the pair of them. And it doesn't fly. It does not fly in the fan court, ever.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm only speaking for the fan court, but I imagine
it shouldn't fly anywhere.
Yeah, don't worry. Like we've split ours here in our server. We've got a few under 18s that have an extra role, but of course I don't have a not safe for work channel, so I keep things rather PG-ish.
See, that's the thing. I mean, if you just keep everything like that, then it's not going to deter. But I don't see the reason to have like a not suitable for work channel anyway. I mean, we've got the internet, so why would anyone need that channel? Do you know what I mean?
Well, and that's usually what we tell people, because the fan court does go through great lengths to ID people. We do require you to have a government-issued ID that has to have your birth date on it. You have to black out absolutely everything except your picture and your date of birth, and then you have to hold the ID up to your face to show that the person that is that's on the license matches the person. Obviously, there's ways to get around that, and we know that and we understand that. But there isn't much more we can do other than that, and we're totally okay with the measures that we're currently taking.
That's
Yeah.
fair enough, I think. Yeah.
And it's
Even
completely
then, if you
understandable.
get around that, that's a lot of effort for you to get around.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
Normally
a lot of
people won't
effort.
take the
Oh, yeah.
initiative to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. Humans are lazy.
Yeah, we are.
Oh yeah.
Going on to the rest of the Aristodoc, Hellboy, would you like to start off on how you got involved in it, and then I'll
Oh
kinda
yeah,
clean house?
totally.
Okay.
So, again, I'm going to try and censor this as much as I can because people asked not to be involved in the situation. They just wanted to spread information as far as they could.
Yeah.
So the admin team for the Honeycord was alerted by a cast member of Arresto's Dirty Laundry. Another cast member let everybody know that they were dropping all contact with him because he had an illicit Patreon going. He actually had 2 Patreons before that. And he had one that Viv told him to take down and another one that he made without her fucking permission to do giveaways and fund the Q&As allegedly, which was also against her fucking will.
Yeah.
But there was an announcement that was made to cast and crew about cutting ties because of his illicit Patreon, about him doing sexual things with minors, about him letting minors say sexual things to cast and crew during the Q&As.
Well, let's
And
pause really quick. We were only informed of the not safe for work or the borderline questions that were being told. That's all
Yeah,
that
we
I
never
was told.
actually got to witness them firsthand. We were just informed of them.
Yeah.
But again, we had to take
Right.
it seriously because of the claims made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I have
But
one question and one
Oh, go
question
ahead.
over there. Obviously, the cast member obviously came forward to the Honeycord cast. Was this recently or like within like 2 weeks or a month?
This is probably about maybe a month ago, I would say.
yeah, we're going back about a month ago when we got this information.
Maybe
Okay.
5 or 6 weeks. So maybe
Yeah.
probably closer to 5. We're encroaching on like 5 weeks.
Okay, so I probably may have a guess who it is, but I know it's not the voice of Vaggie.
Well,
That would have been an accurate
who it
guess.
is kind of
Yeah.
irrelevant. The fact
The
of the matter
point is
that
moot. The fact is that most of the staff don't want anything to do with it.
Understandable, yeah, they don't want to get involved,
But-
and that's fine. I
but
mean, they
anyway,
need to protect our
going,
hides. So they need to protect our hides. But carry on.
Yeah. Going back to my part of the story, though, I got that information. We were talking about how we were going to handle it in the Honeycord, and I realized, hey, wait a minute, I know this fucker. This dude, we advertised his little COVID-19 campaign. He teamed up with the team that Jacksepticeye was behind. They were doing like a week-long donation period for the COVID-19 crisis, and we decided that we were going to team up and do like a little event for it. We never partnered with any servers. We didn't know he had his own server. We just knew that he had an event
would
going
also-
on.
We would also like to point out that the fan court is incredibly strict on who we partner with. We have never partnered with anybody because we know how strict we are, and we do not have any reasonable expectation that we believe that other servers should follow exactly what we do, and that's why we've never partnered with anybody. We do have servers we support and openly support, but not servers that we've partnered with.
Yeah, understandable.
He-
Obviously,
But-
with the with obviously Radio Hazbin, obviously you guys see it's much more of a neutral place, much more chill. You guys are willing more likely to support us in every single way that we are, trying to get lengths, trying to bring the news out as much as possible, trying to bring up topics involving the Hazbin stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyways, so I decided that I was going to let Monstrous know about the situation. And as soon as I let Monstrous know, we decided to boot him. And that's when we made the call to boot him over in the Honeycord, because they were on the same page with us. And that's when Monstrous and I got involved with this whole situation, which is where you can take over.
Okay. So that same day, I was approached by 2 other cast members within Hazbin Hotel. and both of them told me the situation. I was asked not to say anything openly about it because there were more pressing matters, specifically the issue that was going on with Magpie at the time, and so I didn't say anything. I was approached that night by the group Fall of Lucifer, and they had a whole bunch of screenshots. Some of the screenshots are currently in the doc, some of them are not. And I spoke to them, all of them, for about 2 hours, I would say, regarding this subject.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. And these people are people that have they've followed Aristo for a while. They know who he is, and they were very displeased by his behavior, and that he had allowed sexually charged questions in his Q&As. He had made passes at young girls. He had allowed unvetted users access to not safe for work content, being that specifically the ladies' night, which I would like to point out, all of his mods have denied on a number of occasions. All of his mods deny that there was a ladies' night, which I think is pretty funny because
Yeah, there is evidence of that. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. And specifically, one of the users within Fall of Aristo was actually there on the night of the ladies' night and heard him call it a ladies' night. So I find it very interesting that the mods are currently denying it, but that's
they're doubling down by the sounds of it.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to double down, that's fine, because I have proof that says otherwise. So this group of users, and it's a fairly large group, and it's funny because this group is actually bigger than it's bigger than it seems to be. So there's a core group, that's the Fall of Lucifer, and then there's several other smaller groups who also kind of pseudo helped with that doc in their own way. So shout out to those people as well. They were super cool people. Everyone who worked with me was incredibly nice, incredibly patient, and really was just really sick and tired of the bullshit, honestly. And I would like to make it clear, it states on the doc, but I would like to make it doubly clear that never once did either myself or Hellboy openly say that Aristo is a pedophile. We do not believe he is a pedophile. What we do believe is that he was incredibly negligent, which is incredibly obvious by the screen caps. He was QQing about some nonsense about getting a legal team together. What we're doing is not illegal. This, like, what that document did, what that document provided is not illegal in any way, shape, or form. This is something that I've regularly done with other people who do stupid shit like this, and nothing has happened, so I'm not exactly afraid of someone calling the police or whatever the hell they want to do. Calling someone out and saying mean words to them is not illegal. They would actually qualify that under freedom of speech.
Because it's technically it falls under criticism. Obviously, because it more likely to aim, but probably be a form of harassment. It's actually not. It's a form of criticism, because obviously on YouTube, obviously we're having trouble with that at the moment, especially involving a Scottish YouTuber known as Susaloo, especially about a certain appendage of our forehead. Well, no, I just said the forehead.
Whoops.
But of course, I
didn't have my censor button ready.
Yeah.
That was my fault.
Because probably people are not allowed to make jokes about that. But she had videos taken down for bullying and harassment. One person just got demonetized for harassment just a few days ago. And they may have been the culprit, but we don't know.
Well, we don't. Let's understand this, and I apologize that it's windy out here. We don't condone harassment in any format. We ourselves do not condone other people going out and harassing users. We will never do that. We have never condoned that sort of behavior. I think it's also worth mentioning that probably about 2 weeks ago at this point, or maybe it was a week and a half ago, I put a vague tweet out on my social media, and I purposely put these vague tweets out because I like to know who follows. Like, I like to know who's watching my account. And sure enough, there was a vague tweet that I had put out that surrounded Aristo. But honestly, by this point, nobody had known who Aristo was. Nobody cared who Aristo was. Nobody gave two shits or, blinked an eye at him, and he outed himself. I've gotten into it with a number of server owners over a variety of subjects, including but not limited to allowing free reign access to not safe for work content on their servers. I've gotten into it with server owners over harboring predators. I've gotten into it with people being zoophiles, being necrophiles. I've gotten into it with a lot of people over a lot of different topics. I frequently fight with other server owners because it's not that I don't like their server, it's that I don't like how what they're doing can be construed as illegal, and I don't want the fandom to be known as that fandom that allows predators to be enabled and allows children access porn.
Yeah.
So I very vehemently defend my position as someone who, and that's not to say it's perfect. Children sometimes get through the cracks, as we all know.
Yes.
People evade bans, but when you are knowingly giving access to children to porn, and you are knowingly harboring predators and pedophiles and child groomer enablers, then I'm going to call you out. I've spoken with many of these server owners and DMs. So the point of it was that could have been anybody. If you check my Twitter profile, I frequently vague tweet about users because I don't feel the need to drag them out in public until they do it themselves, which is exactly what happened in this case. And I let them do that. If they want it to be known, then they're going to say it. Otherwise, I'll drag it to your face. I'll drag you in your DMs. I'll drag you however you want me to drag you, but you're going to get dragged if that's how you want to act.
Yeah,
act tough,
understandable.
pony up in my DMs. Let's talk, dude.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, you guys probably don't know. Obviously, Lucifer knows that. Oh, Lucifer VA, not that Lucifer. I'm a victim of grooming myself, so I've been on the other side of the spectrum, but I managed to pull through it from my adult years by hardening myself up, not to fall down that same traps again. So let's get on with the document.
Yes.
Man, I'm just sick and tired of these kid diddlers.
Oh, definitely, I agree. They need to be snapped out of existence. So, yet again, Aristo is negligent at best. This document was written to show his stupidity, to openly call him out for making poor choices. We do not condone harassment or escalation beyond spreading the confirmed information, including deletion of evidence from his server. This document is not claiming he is a blank. This document is here to claim Aristo is a moron. Full stop. So obviously the disclaimer's already there. So
yes.
So let me just zoom in.
Yeah, go ahead. You're fine.
Yeah. Let's see what. There we go. 125. Cool. Alright, so everyone can now see the document, so let's go for the preface. The evidence and testimonies of everything in this section will be provided in the respective chapter. This portion simply serves as an overview of how this all started. This was composed in a group of 6 different people, but the amount of witnesses just kept growing. If you or anyone has experienced something like this, please let others know, and the audio included has been boosted for users to hear. This group and its function all began with a voice chat in the Hazbin Hotel-based Discord. Aristo, who used to be known as Lucifer on his own server, was in the chat commenting on the curious nature of the users typing. Aristo then eventually commented that he wanted to have a one-to-one with them in the voice chat in regards of the similarity and unusual speaking mannerisms. This private chat started off with basic formalities and then descended into Aristo spending around 30 minutes explaining why the user was unsuited for voice acting and how he was superior. I call bullshit.
He does that a lot.
I immediately call bullshit. And I've been voice acting for 13 to 14 years. And I'm 28, nearly.
So, as far as that goes, I was, like I said, a majority of this evidence I was not present for, but I was provided evidence and even extraneous evidence, evidence to the point where I was like, all right, I got it, I understand. Now, this behavior is something that a multitude of people have come forward and said, yes, I have seen this behavior. Yes, I have witnessed him engaging this behavior. And then there's also been a lot of people who sat there and said, no, I've never seen that happen. No, I've never seen that happen. And the thing is I think that a lot of those people are incredibly blind because I spent 5 whole minutes, maybe. I think in total I probably spent a grand whole, maybe 15 minutes talking to Aristo. And even before I was fully involved in this guy just radiated narcissism. And
So basically, people were pretty much this. Yeah, so pretty much people were like this.
Yeah.
Ah! That's me doing a person of a sheep.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and I'm not gonna call him a sheep because people like who they like, and that's fair. You're allowed to like whoever you want to like. You want to defend somebody, that's fine.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I witnessed, both first and secondhand, is just blatant denial. And the thing is that everybody has their faults. Both myself and Hellboy, we have our own problems that we know that we need to work on, and we can admit that we have these faults. I know that recently I was called out by a different server admin. I wasn't called out, but a server admin questioned my aggression and how aggressively I publicly come out about these issues. Although I don't personally find that to be a fault, but that's my personal opinion. But you know, somebody's gonna call me out there. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna listen to their criticism. You're allowed to criticize me. We've had people openly criticize the fan court. That's totally fine. If you want to openly criticize us, by all means, drop us a DM. Tell us what we could be doing better. We have questions and suggestions, and we do take the suggestions very seriously.
On top of that, we have a Twitter account with DMs that are open. If people have a hard time talking with us in the server, they can just talk to the Twitter account.
Your DMs are closed unless someone follows you, Hellboy.
Yeah.
Let me
staff have access to Twitter.
Let me interject here. Just because they say that they're open to suggestions and take things very seriously, doesn't mean that they're gonna agree with you. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean that its implementation would be the best thing for the server as a whole.
Correct.
Say, everybody wants to have Waffle Wednesday. Just because it sounds like a great idea doesn't mean that the execution of Waffle Wednesday, as it were, would be the best option for the server.
I'd also like to point out, I have no idea who this person is, but he's totally spot on.
Yes. And Samara, I would probably suggest it's more likely the latter rather than the former. By the sounds of it. So after the user had finished explaining this, another user commented that Aristo had done the exact same thing to them when talking about voice acting. So obviously it seems to be more of the latter rather than the former. This was concerning, and it's likely meant he had done this multiple times. It was at the same time that a female user chimed in and said she had a disturbing experience with Aristo in his server during his so-called ladies' night. During this event, Aristo was there in the voice chat to have all the females who were present fawn over him. It started jokingly innocent and then escalated quickly with some highly sexual comments in the presence of minors. Yeah, I do agree that is a bit disconcerting on that part. Then Aristo sent a message saying, "Send 5 pics when this card is played. Everyone who sees this must send 5 pics." People could just take that out of context and basically take a picture of some chicken thighs and send to him. Come on. That would have been way funnier.
It gets even fucking worse because they tried to deny the ladies' night ever happened.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I mentioned that both him and the mod staff tried to deny that was something that had happened. When it very much, that hadn't happened, that very much did happen. And, like, that's fine. Like, I don't know why you would do that. I've never personally done that. I don't understand the desire to separate gender identity into specific nights. But more importantly, if it was a ladies' night, then why did the male server owner feel the need to go in and get involved? And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I just don't think you should have called it a ladies' night. You should have called it what it was, and that was harem night, because that's what it became ultimately.
Yeah, definitely felt like it. Well, seemed like.
Yeah, and I'd also like to point out that there was a 13-year-old user who had posted her picture in that text call, of which obviously there's proof in that doc. I'd like to point out that there is some proof that has been posted in the doc that Aristo has deleted, and that's fine if that's what he wants to do. But yeah. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
At least all Aristo had to do, all Aristo had to do was sit there, say, you know what, I fucked up, and then Hellboy and I would have had nothing to stand on. The Fall of Lucifer group would have had nothing to stand on if he had come out and said, you know what, I made some really shitty choices. You're right.
Yeah.
Like, I made some really shitty choices. I shouldn't have done those things. I shouldn't have said those things. That's all he had to do. That's it. This wasn't like a, oh, we want your server. Oh, we want your blah blah. No, all we
It
wanted,
wasn't a witch
and all
hunt.
that. It wasn't a witch hunt. All it was is we just want you to admit that you fucked up, because there's a group of people who are incredibly upset at your behavior, and there are people who don't want to confront you, which is why they come to people like me and Hellboy, because we will confront you. We will call you out. They don't feel comfortable, so we'll do it.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, dude, all he had to do, sorry, I messed up. You're right. I shouldn't have said those things. I shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. You're right. I am immature, and I know this because I did this when I should have done that. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then neither myself nor Hellboy or anyone would have had a leg to stand on.
Let me make an amendment to that statement. Is yes, admit that you did wrong, and don't do it again.
Yeah. Just don't do it
Because
again.
I've seen so many people that do admit that what they're doing is wrong, and then go on to do the behavior over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh
repeat
god, we've
offenders.
had that happen before with somebody, and just word of advice, if you're gonna do it again, just be aware, we're gonna come back harder and stronger. We're not gonna leave you alone until you fucking stop.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, that's agreed.
Yeah,
I'd like
definitely.
to, yes and no. Like, we're not gonna go hound you. We're not gonna go after you. We're not gonna. This is not a witch hunt. What we engage in are not witch hunts. We do not ask that users go after these people, because 9 times out of 10, and as much as we love users, God knows we love the users in our servers. We love the community as a whole. Sometimes people make some not so good choices, and we understand that. That's why we do not ask. We have never asked anybody to go after these users that we have called out openly and publicly.
Okay.
We do not want that. I would rather these people make a fool of themselves like they so frequently do, and leave it at that. I will happily watch from the silence. If somebody comes up to me and says, hey, can you tell me about this person? I'll sit there and say, yeah, of course. I'll go on a podcast. I'll go on I've done YouTube commentary with other YouTubers, shout out to Coyote Lovely, around this sort of thing. At Hateful Tate, who I will also hopefully be doing a commentary on.
Man, I
about
can't
the
believe you
situation.
plugged your napkin. I'm shocked.
Listen, okay. So yeah, and that's all. I'm always dumbfounded at some of the things that people do. I have had people DM me and be like, "Hey, Marcius, I didn't like the way you talked to me," and I sat down with that person and said, "Can you explain to me why?" And I'll sift through them. We'll have long conversations about it, and I will usually apologize. Not always, because I think some other people that come to me, and these are usually like the memers, the people who are actually acting like dickheads because they can.
Yeah.
But if they're not, I'll apologize, dude. I'll admit sometimes I'm aggressive, sometimes I'm a bitch, sometimes I'm mean. But that's what some servers require. They require somebody who's tough, who's gonna be an asshole about things, because otherwise you're not going to respect them. And I've seen some of the other servers. I've seen some of what the other servers do. I see what they say. I see what they get away with. And I'm like, wow, I'd be embarrassed if that was my Discord. I'm not going to name any Discords, because their server owners know exactly who I'm talking to. But I would never allow. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, I was just gonna say, I'm a very kind of soft person, but luckily for me, Insaiyans is like an admin on my server, and she's the tough one. So if anything does go down, she's straight in there anyway, and I'll interject if it needs to be, but most of the time, she's a lot more hard-headed than I am, and she makes the right decisions, whereas I fumble about too much, and I think, is that this? And unless if something was absolutely, unacceptable, then yeah, sure, gone. That would be the thesis of that. But with certain things, especially with I don't know, like conflicts and stuff like that within the server, she's usually straight in there to get that sorted for me, because I have to admit, I don't really go into my own server that often. So I do have mods and admins that do it for me. But then again, they do contact me to let me know if anything is going down for final approval. Which obviously, I usually trust their judgments anyway. But yeah, no, I agree with you on what you were saying there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aristo began to make inappropriate comments about pictures that were sent, some of which were minors, including popping off boners, among other things. We then found out an underage user had a similar experience with Aristo in a separate voice chat. Aristo was commenting about she had a lovely figure, despite her telling him that she was 14 at the time. Thus, we all banded together to compile as much evidence as possible against him. As a forefront, even if Aristo was unaware that he was asking sexual questions to minors or that they were present, ignorance is rarely defensible. Willful ignorance isn't. Yeah, I happily agree with that statement. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Furthermore, there are several instances on at least 2 different servers that he has displayed unacceptable behavior. His behavior is unacceptable given he is the creator and owner of a large server in which he enforces the rule of no, it's not safe for work content. The irony. And he must be held responsible for his actions. Okay. So now we're moving on to the Ladies' Night incident. The following evidence is of the incident, followed by testimonies from the users present during it. Were there at least 3 minors present, including a 16-year-old male and 2 males between the ages of 13 to 15. In fact, Aristo claims he knows there can be minors in the voice chat, but he doesn't say not safe for work jokes towards minors. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. Okay, so we're not going to listen to the audio clip because obviously it's been transcribed. I know there is underage people and I'm not saying sexual shit towards underage people. Again, I told everyone that the voice chats are moderated as heavily as the other in-text chats. But again, you're swearing already.
Is, but it's wild.
Dude, it's giving me Tommy Wiseau vibes, bro.
Deep Southern accent mixed with the British accent. It's like,
Yeah,
Lisa, you're tearing me apart.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
That's bullshit. I did not hit on that 16-year-old. That's bullshit. I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, no, hi, Mark.
Well,
It's not true. I did not hit her. I did not. There we go.
You don't have to read the whole doc. We can just kind of go through it bit by bit, just because the doc is still widely available. It's up on my Twitter. It's up on Hellboy's Twitter.
Yeah.
Isn't it like 30 pages anyway?
It's 33 pages. There's no way we can go through the whole thing.
Oh, trust me. I have a document that's currently 1,188 pages. You're fine. And that's a legal document.
Oh, no.
Oh no! That's too much. At some point, one of us has to go work on finals.
I don't know. I kind of enjoy Insaiyans' southern British accent going on.
Really? You really want to actually do my Texan accent, considering it sounds like Ash from Overwatch?
Okay,
Bob, honey, give me a fucking beer!
With a British accent.
It's high noon.
It's high noon, motherfucker.
That was terrible, and I hate you.
I love you.
Oh,
So,
damn.
so with this being said, you know, there's
Hey, Raven.
I love a myriad of things about the situation. And it's always Mattress Man bad. If I'm bad, then you need to call yourself out. If I'm having to call you out because other people are afraid to, then you need to look inward. With that being said, if there are people out there who want to call me out, please message me, call me out, come to my DMs. My DMs are open, literally on all my platforms, on my Twitter account, on my Safe for Work Twitter account, my Discord DMs are open. You are free to. That doesn't mean you're going to get an answer. It doesn't mean you're going to get a fight, because I really don't have the time, nor do I care to fight every single person who comes into my DMs. But if you have an issue with me, come talk to me. Let me know how you feel. Just see the aforementioned things I mentioned. But if someone has to compile a doc of all the things that you've done wrong, or the things that they feel that make you negligent, then you need to sit down and you need to really ask yourself, like,
He's paler than I am,
what did I,
FYI.
truly, what have I done wrong? There's also this argument that, like, because I blocked Aristo's Discord Twitter account, that they're like, oh, Monstrous is a coward. No, dude, I literally do not care to fight every single person that I call out. I really don't. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy, truly don't have the energy, and I just don't give a shit enough. In Aristo's case, I had messaged him, given the information that I had been given, which wasn't even all of the information that I was given. That was the sad part. But the information that was given to me was just it was just surface level information that had been very obviously backed up. And I had blocked him on the Twitter account because it just wasn't worth fighting. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to believe these other people who I trust more, because those people were actually part of your situation, and you're choosing to ignore that. So, but with that being said, you can message me on Twitter. I've had plenty of people who were super upset as spaghetti about the whole Arista situation, DM me, trying to get a rise out of me and calling me every name under the sun. I'm going to let you motherfuckers know now, you can call me every name under the sun, and I'm not going to care. I've been called way worse. I've dealt with way more important people. I don't care. You can do it if you want, but I don't care.
Yeah, it seems like obviously
he
he is threatening the fan call by the looks of it here in this particular DM, and that was over a month ago.
Dude, he's not just threatening the fan court. He had his little fucking rat threaten the fan court the other day too.
Yeah. There have been a number. We've had people constantly threaten the fan court. It is hilarious how many people have said, I'm gonna message Discord about the fan court. Okay.
I'm gonna talk to Vivziepop about your overbearing nature. Oh yeah, cool. I had a chat with them the other day. I'll be happy to talk with them again.
Yeah, or even the thing that always baffles me, and I don't feel like enough people think about this. You can hate on me all you want. You can shit on me. You can DM me. You can report me to Discord all you want. What I don't understand is why you would report the fan court. Why are you going to displace 6,570,000 users, whatever the number may be? Why are you going to displace them because you're mad at me? Get mad at me. Don't get mad. The fan court didn't do anything to you. I did something to you. Hellboy did something to you. My staff did something to you, not the fan court itself. Don't report the fan court. You're going to do it anyway if you want to, but why? Do you really want to be known as the person who reported the fan court? No, probably not.
Oof.
Also, is that the now? Obviously, now I'm looking at the other. Now I've gone down further down the pages. Is that an actual picture of Aristo here in this profile pic they used at one point?
Gosh. I don't have the doc open in front of me, and so I can't really answer that question.
Okay.
Since I'm on mobile anyway. There are images of him floating around, just like there's images of me floating around.
Understandable.
But I don't really know. But as far as, so there was the ladies' night incident. There's also been incidences with him in Q&As, and like
the Q&As are the worst part.
I don't want to talk about those because they have staff involved, and I want to bring up the staff. But
Understandable.
The audio, the quote unquote audio tampering. Let's address the audio tampering. So one of the individuals who provided the audio openly came out, and I believe it's stated in that doc that the audio was boosted. The reason the audio was boosted, and there is raw versions of that audio. I don't know if it's included in the doc, but I know that I can get access to it if need be. But this audio was boosted because otherwise the VC was so loud and so chaotic that there would have been no way for anybody to have heard Aristo. Supposedly, people on Aristo's side have heard the audio, and it's been stitched, and it has not been stitched. It has not been cut. And it doesn't matter whether it was quote unquote taken out of context, because Aristo had unvetted users in VCs with adults making sexual jokes. Yeah. You don't do that. You just don't. If that's the kind of server you want to run, then maybe that should be your personal server and not a Hazbin server. If that's the kind of server you want to run, then I don't know why you're surprised that I called you out. You're making sexual comments towards minors. You're saying sexual jokes towards minors. you may not be purposely targeting minors, but minors still have access to this content, and you're exacerbating the situation or the problem that we're seeing in every fandom, not just a Hazbin fandom, of predators and pedophiles thinking it's okay to commingle with children. And it's not.
Yeah, definitely,
really
I
not.
agree. Obviously, I'm gonna have one question only, and you guys can be as vague as possible.
Mhm.
Is Vivzie aware?
Yeah.
Viv is aware. Viv is aware.
Yeah, I
And
just
Viv-
thought my
Viv-
point out.
Viv is
'Cause
aware because, I mean, Viv's aware just because of the whole Patreon thing, but Viv has seen the doc. Viv is fully aware. Viv
No
herself is
doubt,
fully
no
aware of
doubt.
the doc's existence.
Yeah, no doubt she's probably
So-
saw the doc and going, oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm
I can't
looking
comment on
at I'm looking at the stream right now, and that's a cut screenshot from Audacity. First of all, the fact that it's cut is extremely amusing to me, because that implies Photoshop, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
top of that, you can see that he himself edited the audio. That's what that line is in the middle. Which is extremely amusing as well, because I use the program frequently for
Oh yeah, same
Is
here.
this this our doc, or is this a different doc? Like, what image of?
This is a
stream right now.
Yeah, it's basically it's showing a screenshot of one of his comments in his own Discord, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's complaining about how I'm assuming the other people, because it doesn't look like it's him, says it's garbage quality, doesn't look right, blackmail, so on and so forth. When it looks like if anybody doctored it, it would have been him. And that's just my experience with Audacity. It very well could not be that way, but from how it looks with how it's cut, it's very sus.
And that's the thing. You can't call it blackmail because we literally don't want anything from this. Like
Right.
we don't want.
You're not
anything.
extorting him for anything.
We're not extorting him. We're not holding anything above his head. We don't want anything. We don't want a server. Nothing. So this idea that we're blackmailed is laughable, dude. I have enough on my hands. You think I want to deal with another server on top of that? With all the servers that I admin, maintain, co-own, own, whatever? No, I don't care. I really don't want your server, fam.
Understandable. Understandable.
As far as like I said, the boosting goes, the quality the person who recorded it did come out and admit that it was in a specific format, and that he admitted that it was a shitty format, but that this was something that he was new to. And I heard the raw audio, and it is kind of difficult to discern what is being said, which is why the audio was boosted. Boosting does not equal tampering. Boosting does not equal, I suppose if you want to call it a form of editing, you could make a very, very, very pedantic argument about that. But even
and
so,
I mean,
dude, all you had to do was own up.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at the rest of the document, because I'm looking at everything that's on the stream right now, regardless of whether or not the audio has been doctored, as it were, there's still more than enough to point out that there's a significant problem going on, regardless of, again, whether or not the audio has been doctored.
Yeah, which was the whole point. And the group that was involved in the large group that was involved in this, there were instances where they did want to akin it to predatory behavior, but it's not predatory behavior. There is speculation, but there is no proof of either predatory behavior, of which I was able to get 0 screenshots of, so I can't make that claim.
Understandable.
Right.
Aristo is negligent. He's a narcissistic, negligent individual who does not understand boundaries, and for some reason seems to think that he plays the cool kid. It's like, what's up, fellow kids?
So he's trying to be Steve Buscemi in general.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Sup, fellow kids.
There's also he has to try to. There's like this point that keeps getting made. Oh, the server is dead. The fan court is dead. I'd like to point out that before the release of Hazbin Hotel, the server had just shy of 2,000 people, right? I was not the server owner at the time. Space Tam was. Shout out to Space Tam. we stand hand in this household. But
That's pretty gay, my
when-
dude.
shut up. Space Ham is our former server owner, and Space Ham is a huge reason why a lot of us are in the fan cord, because they did do a lot of work on the fan cord. But when the premiere happened, I sat down with Ham, and Ham and I both knew that there were going to be a ton of issues that we were going to experience. That being, we knew that there was going to be an influx of people, and shortly after the release of Hazbin Hotel, Ham did give the server up because they could no longer keep up with the demands. We went from less than 2,000 people to over 8,000 users in the span of between the release of Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss.
Within a month, yeah.
We saw an 8-fold user influx. And it was incredibly overwhelming. We had a ton of people who were memeing in chat, posting swastikas, posting really borderline NSFW stuff they had no business posting because they didn't read the rules. And so we cracked down incredibly heavily on that sort of thing because we didn't want it in the fan cord. We've also rescinded bans from that era because either we felt we were too harsh, or we felt, now it's okay for you to come in, now we can handle you. And between, I would say, February, and so pretty much I would say the last half of February, all of March, and into the quarantine, there was a lull in the fan cord because we were so exhausted from literally, it was around the clock modding we had to do, and we had a pretty sizable staff of 14, 16 people who all had to mod. Everybody had to moderate. When you finally get a breather and you finally get a chance to okay, God, I could take a step back. We didn't host any events. We were not advertising at the time because we were recovering. We were tired. A lot of the staff go to school. They go to college. They had midterms. They had finals. They have jobs. They have lives. They can't sit there and moderate the fan cord 24/7 like we were during the release, because that was fortunately around Christmas. So we were super thankful for that lull. We wanted that lull to give us a chance to recoup what had happened. Everything from losing staff to gaining staff to rewriting rules to fixing our ID policy to starting the server from the ground up. I had actually quit. I was not server owner for a short time because I was working so much. I worked back before quarantine. I worked 2 jobs. Went to school full time, and used to go to the gym a lot. Didn't have time for the server. The person who took over for me, Pino, couldn't do it anymore because they had social anxiety. So I'm taking over the fan cord until someone else can take my place, and whenever time that may be. So this whole the fan cord's dead. The fan cord's dead. Bitch, if that was fucking dead, I'll take that. I'll take that every once in a while. I don't care. Because I can't mod 24/7, and neither can my staff. I'm thankful for the quiet moments. I don't know if you want to jump off that, Hellboy.
What? Yeah.
Oh my God, he was not getting a sandwich or something.
I was so
We were all zoned
sorry.
out. We were just about to fall asleep.
Literally Hellboy.
I was making a DoorDash order. I'm hungry. I have no food in the home. I was focused on that.
Literally, we just had Patrick on the seahorse in his brain right then.
I was sitting on the edge of my seat for the rest of this story. I was actually on the edge of my seat. So, does that mean I was the only person listening? What? No.
I was listening. Thank you very much.
What were you talking about? Were you talking about the whole fucking influx with the Hazbin Discord and how we had to take a break and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. How we desperately needed that break.
We did. We really did. It was rough. Well, I would say 3 months. We were still reeling from 3 months.
No.
Yeah.
And I will be having this special announcement probably after will be finished talking about the document. Obviously, you guys, I want your input on it as well. It is going to be positive, and it will affect, obviously, the Vivziepop as a whole. But I will leave that for later. The only person who knows about that will be Lucifer, but we will be speaking about that soon. So now we're on to about...
As in me, obviously. Lucifer
Yeah.
VA.
Yeah.
Not the other one.
Yeah. Not
the true
douche...
Lucifer.
Yeah, not douchebag.
Not douchifer.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now we're on to about the whole Ashley Nicole situation, how she got drugged into this, and apparently Dave kept a bell, if I can recall, because that obviously Dave's mentioned.
We are not going to comment on anything regarding staff.
Yeah,
We
no,
don't.
sorry.
We don't want. We have gone through great lengths to make sure that the staff do not get involved if they don't want to. If they want to, they can do it of their own accord. But we will not speak on anything regarding the staff.
Okay.
We do not want them involved.
Yeah. So obviously we've talked about that he has an alt in the fan code.
That's what he claims. There are people from his server in the fan court, and we don't. The thing is that we don't care if those people are in the fan court. They have every right to be in the fan court as long as they're not being like.
As long as they're not
we don't
causing
care.
trouble. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
isn't
as
a
long as
guilty
they're
by
not causing
association kind of deal.
Yeah.
Correct. So as long as you're being cool, hey fam, we're cool as far as I'm concerned. You want to take screenshots of the fan court? Fine. Go ahead, feel free to do that. I don't mind. You want to hang out in the fan court? Feel free. Go ahead. I don't mind. It does not bother me in the least. Just don't be an asshole to the other users. You can be a jackhole to me. Just don't be one to the other users. And keep your shit.
Like, honestly, my whole thing with it is, like, I know I can be an asshole, and that's cool. If you don't like me because I'm an asshole,
Cool.
that's fine. But, like,
There we go. You're an ass cool
don't
asshole.
take it out on
There we go.
everybody else if I'm an asshole. Come to me if I'm an asshole.
If I'm an ass cool.
Ass cool
Asshole.
asshole. There we go.
It's cool. I'll send you my DMs.
Limo. Limo.
I'll send you my resume.
Right.
Yes, I'll send an exterminator then. Mwah. Maybe not.
Oof. So yeah, by the sounds of it, yeah. Until he releases his side of the problem, obviously by the sounds of it, he does have some narcissistic personality. I think he doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. By the sounds of it, it sounds like he's got a lack of conscience.
I think he knows. I think he knows. I just think he's a dumb kid. And that's where a lot of this gets.
Well, how can they
that's
be
where
a
lot of
kid?
this-
They're almost 20 years old now.
Everyone
True.
who's younger than me is a kid, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm 28.
Stop.
I'm
Everyone's
27 going on
younger than me
28.
anyway, so.
I think he's a dumb kid who made some dumb choices, and that maybe he's not used to being called out for them. And if that's the case, then that's the case. But but by doing that, you very much wear your age on your sleeve. Like you said, all Aristo had to do was come out and say, "Hey, look, I'm sorry I did these things, guys. You're right, I made some poor choices, and I won't do them again." And I would have had not a goddamn thing to stand on. I'd have been like, "All right, cool. That's the end of the conversation. That's it. Everybody can go home now."
Yeah, I think
But that's not. There's this whole like, oh, I gotta make a counter doc. I gotta make a counter doc. Why? Why do you? I mean, go ahead if that's what you want to. I'm not gonna stop you. I don't care. I'll tell her that apart too, personally.
Yeah, I'm just displaying the tweet.
Yeah, like why do you feel the need to make a counter doc? I can't tell you how many accusations I've received across the board of I've been accused of everything under the sun. Everything, and nobody has been able to provide the proof of any of the things that they've claimed. I don't ever feel the need to make a doc. Like,
Yeah,
I really
definitely.
don't.
Definitely.
We have somebody that would like to join.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, who is it that would like to join?
Apparently, yep, Sayami,
Okay.
you're an admin, you can just pop in!
Wow.
This entire situation, though, it reminds me, and I don't like bringing up drama, so I don't do this lightly. It reminds me a lot of Kara the Wolf in the furry fandom, because obviously I'm a part of the furry fandom. I'm just gonna go straight up. I am a furry. It's fine. Make fun of me. I make fun of me.
I
Anyway,
can't. My neck
a lot of
My
this
neck
stuff.
hurts.
A lot of this stuff, the way that it's being handled, and how one side is saying one thing and then the other side is saying other thing. And I mean, this can be, some of it can be applied universally. Some of it can be applied universally to any conflict, but a lot of this, in the way that the drama is unfolding, reminds me a lot of how the Caro the Wolf situation was handled.
Okay. Sammy, you have some information?
A little bit, actually.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's the worst thing in the world since I'm not underage myself, but boy oh boy, was it a little odd. So basically, Lucy, other one we're talking about, and we had like breakfast discussions in the morning, right? Next thing I know, he's making eggs. We're talking about how we're making eggs. Next thing you know, I'm like sleeping. I'm like dead asleep on my phone for a moment. I open my eyes. Next thing I know, I hear water running. And I'm like, wait a minute. Huh. Man's in the shower. So I'm just like, okay. Well, this is a thing. Now, I'll say I didn't see anything. Nothing was shown. Like, everything was censored. There was nothing wrong there. But it was a little odd. Regardless, I could care less, really, but... that's not really a expected first impression, would I say myself.
Okay.
Okay, so we saw Lucifer nude, basically.
Almost.
Ooh.
I've seen worse anyway, don't worry.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the next topic. Let me just
But yeah, regardless, to my knowledge about the, gonna add one more thing. The underage girlfriend situation.
Yes.
I'm not saying anyone's fully in the wrong here. She really should have said something. Because knowing the fact of she was hiding her age, I'm pretty sure he was all in the loop on that.
No doubt. Okay, so now we're going on to the special announcement. Right, obviously, right now, this is currently in the planning stages. We are planning to host this on Halloween weekend. Me and Lucifer, we're planning to host our second convention. This would be technically be SailCon 2, but it will be not. It will not be Dragon Ball related. Instead, it will be Hazbin Hotel, Hello Boss, and Zoophobia related. We are hosting the first annual Vivziepop.
If it gets approved.
If it gets approved by obviously by Vivian, because we do want her to be heavily involved in this. And it will be a digital convention that will run on Halloween weekend, because that will be the 1 year anniversary of Hazbin Hotel's release.
Well, that sounds pretty kick-ass.
That does sound
It's in the
pretty
planning.
nice.
Yeah, it's in the planning stages at the moment, and obviously, you know, we're just putting bits and bobs together. Initially, I think this first one, because of the situation with like COVID-19, quarantine, all that situation, and obviously that stuff isn't going to go away. Like, you know, social distancing is probably going to be a thing for a while. So this one initially will be a digital one, just to run it out, to get the idea. But who knows? I mean, in the future, if it does get approved and people are interested in it or whatever, it may go full span.
Yeah. So, how monstrous? What do you think about that idea?
Yeah, I
mean,
think
that's
it's pretty
pretty
cool.
No, true.
Excuse me? They said monstrous? Not funny?
They said cool and monstrous, don't you even?
I mean, hey, I can drink to that.
Indeed, so can I.
I think that's. I mean, as long as it gets approved, as long as it's, you know. As long
Oh,
as
trust me,
it's
you and
then-
Hellboy will immediately be part of the crew.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, we would love
You have
Yeah,
been
where's
voluntold.
mine then?
we would love you to be involved, of course, definitely. I mean, like, see, because I'm good friends with Crystal Laporte. It's literally the only person I know that is involved in, you know, Hazbin Hotel, knows Vivzi, through a contact basis. So, you know, and we've worked together before, me and Crystal. So I've run it past her. She hasn't got back to me yet because I know how her schedule can be really busy and up and down all the time and stuff. But I've given her like a brief on the idea of it. So you know, I'm trying to sort of, well, we're trying to sort of like just get the wheels in motion and go from there, basically. So yeah. And obviously, you know, with this first one, we want to like, you know, if we do like an admission thing, it would be, you know, donated to a charity of, you know, either COVID-19 vaccination research, unless they've already got something by then, or it will be something that, you know, if Vivzie is interested in it, a charity of her choice.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds like a good framework.
Yeah, definitely. So right now we're coming in the planning stages. Again, we do want Vivzie's approval. So Vivzie, if you ever watch this to this part, hello. I would like to have a contact with you. My email is in my YouTube channel. And I know your email is in your Twitter. Feel free. Okay, so that's rough about it. So obviously we do want everyone to be involved. Obviously Halloween weekend is obviously going to be a big weekend, and of course it involves demons. So we might as well make the most of it during that time, because obviously again it'll be the 1 year anniversary of Hazbin Hotel during that time. So now on to the last subject, which is probably anyone that's aware, last year I used to do a bunch of Dragon Ball content, and this year I'm been moving slowly towards Hazbin Hotel and of course the Vivzie content. The Dragon Ball content is still going to remain, but right now it's currently declining because obviously it's not having the impact as it should. Whereas of course with my other content, let me quickly pop onto that. So like, let me just pop to my channel if I can very quickly. And yeah, I'm doing this in real time because I'm a little bit of a boomer.
Right, see, that's what I'm called all the time, the boomer. I am terrible when it comes.
Okay,
I am terrible.
Okay, boomer.
Hey,
When it comes-
that's my line.
I'm actually selling T-shirts that say "Okay, Boomer" on the back.
Oh shit! Where can I get one of those?
In the link in the description of any of my videos.
Lol. Alright, as you can plainly see here, like some like my Kevlar reactions that I've been putting out have not been doing so well. Or as like my Hazbin stuff, they've been booming very hard. So it seems like obviously the change seems to be more better. Obviously there will be changes towards my header at some points, but yeah. Until basically if these reactions start dipping even further to like less than 100 views, I will be stopping doing Dragon Ball completely and move on to actual Hazbin Hotel content. Pretty much going on in future. So that is technically my departure away from that, and I will be changing my name from Insaiyans to Radio Hazbin. Or back to my old name, which was Mecha Michaelis. So
yeah, I mean, if any of you guys know my channel, you know that it started off as a Zamasu channel and very quickly, rapidly moved into Hazbin because of the, you know, the jump in fandom plus like the rawness of everything happening, and obviously you can see the results because it has had a positive effect.
yes, yeah.
And obviously I will help you as much as possible.
Yes,
which is the main plan.
Okay, I think we've pretty much gone over the topics that we had to.
Alright.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes, and yes. So obviously, we need to talk to Vivzie and tell. Actually, I said hello, and tell Michael I said hello.
Blimey.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
if you want to tell them hello yourself, we're streaming fucking Army of Darkness tonight with Dave.
I'm actually.
I'll be asleep because
hold on,
I have
hold
work in
on.
the morning.
I have a good question actually.
Okay.
What's up?
You guys are in the honey chord server, right?
I'm an admin, Mon's
Okay.
bot
Did
maintenance. So
any of you catch a fucking glimpse of like the atrocity I made of like Baldy basics combined with Alistair?
we
The
made
fucking-
an emote for like half a day.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Because I made that when I was like drunk off my ass.
Oh god.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, okay,
Sorry.
everyone, that's everyone for the
Sorry.
high note. That's it for the Hazbin, for Radio Hazbin. Thank you for everyone for all attending. Thank you very much to Sayami,
Thank
Engineer
you.
256, Hellboy, Monstrous, Lucifer VA,
you.
and of course, myself. I will end it with the Holosk Electro Swing done by Asho Boyo for the rest of the evening. So everyone, hope you have a lovely evening wherever you are in the world, US, Argentina, Brazil, wherever the fuck you are. It's always gonna be burning in hell. Catch you later!